What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but do not have works? Can faith save you? If a brother or sister is naked and lacks daily food, and one of you says to them, "Go in peace, keep warm and eat your fill," and yet you do not supply their bodily needs, what is the good of that? So faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. James 2:14-17. The great German reformer Martin Luther once referred to the Epistle of James as an epistle of straw. He says of James, quote, "In a word, he wants to guard against those who relied on faith without works and is unequal to the task, and would accomplish by insisting on the law what the apostles accomplished by inciting men to love. Therefore, I cannot put him among the chief books, though I would not thereby prevent anyone from putting him where he pleases and estimating him as he pleases, for there are many good sayings in him." Unquote. Martin Luther was a man of strong opinions. He doesn't reject the Epistle of James. He also doesn't reject the importance of works. He does say that James is unequal to the task of relating the two, faith and works. Love, according to Martin Luther, is the missing element in the equation. Thank you. As the baptized, we are saved by God's grace and our faith in Jesus Christ alone. This is the love God has for us. Our response to this love should be love. Love that results in works of mercy and compassion. Can we honestly assert we are saved in Christ Jesus if we show no love, no compassion? Of course not. The people of the Diocese of New Jersey know how to love, know how to show mercy, how to engage in acts of compassion. We just heard significant examples of that from Leila Mello. These acts of compassion number in the thousands, perhaps tens of thousands every year. As a diocese, we are among the top 5 in the Episcopal Church for the number of Jubilee sites that we have. The designation Jubilee Ministry was created by the General Convention at New Orleans in 1982. The mandate of Jubilee Ministries, provided by Resolution 1982 A080, is to be, quote, "a ministry of joint discipleship in Christ with poor and oppressed people wherever they are found, to meet basic human needs and to build a just society." This act of General Convention notes that this kind of ministry is at the heart of the mission of the Church. It's important to note that the Jubilee mandate from General Convention calls for ministries of, quote, "joint discipleship in Christ with poor and oppressed people," not over or above. It is also important to note that the intention is to help build a just society. Wherever poverty and oppression exist, there are signs of injustice. Our baptismal covenant calls for us to strive for justice and peace among all people. The prophet Micah exhorts us to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with our God. Our call to compassion and our call to advocacy are inextricably intertwined. I'll have more to say about that tomorrow morning in the next reflection when we consider Mark 4, transforming the unjust structures of society. For now, we consider acts of mercy, what the Roman Catholic Church considers the corporal works of mercy. 1, feed the hungry. 2, give drink to the thirsty. 3, clothe the naked. 4, shelter the homeless. 5, visit those in prison. 6, comfort the sick. And 7, bury the dead. From Elizabeth and Basking Ridge to Cape May and Vineland, works of mercy are carried out in significant ways by the people of this diocese. One event that started out as a parish initiative has evolved into a major diocesan event each year. The annual Battle Against Hunger bike ride started out in 2003 as a dream of St. Matthew's Pennington lay member, the late Chuck Inman, and his wife Pam. That first year, 5 people took a 2-day bicycle trek from St. Matthew's to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. They raised $15,000 that first year and split it between the Rescue Mission of Trenton and the Trenton Area Soup Kitchen. In 2014, the Battle Against Hunger bike ride joined forces with Jubilee Ministries and expanded to incorporate a diocesan outreach ministry, adding a walk and a run to raise additional funds. To date, the Battle Against Hunger has raised over $1 million. In the 3 years since its diocesan sponsorship, it has provided substantial support to quite a few of our Jubilee sites, including Trinity Asbury Park, who've been outstanding supporters and participants. Canon Phyllis Jones has been instrumental in organizing and supporting this event each year, and especially since Chuck Inman's death. Thank you, Phyllis. We can do that too. On the Feast of Absalom Jones, our Earl B. Scott chapter of the Union of Black Episcopalians honored St. Wilfrid's Church in Camden for their ministry in sponsoring a medical clinic once a month in the church that meets the needs of hundreds of people in the local community. Is St. Wilfrid's here? Anyone here from St. Wilfrid's today? St. Wilfrid's worshiping community has dwindled significantly. There are only 8 to 10 people during their once-a-month Sunday worship. But the Valentine family and others at St. Wilfrid's are committed to their vital ministry of mercy and care in their community. Nearby St. Paul's Camden feeds more than 150 people a week. Where's St. Paul's Camden? Are they here? There we go. Their outreach ministries are supported by more than 20 other congregations. How many congregations in Project Interaction? Raise your hands. Look over here, friends, right? Trinity Cathedral. Let's give them a hand, though. Thank you. Where's Trinity Cathedral? Yeah, I hear it. Trinity Cathedral does incredible outreach ministry in Trenton. A weekly lunch program on Fridays, a food pantry every other Saturday, the Trinity Academy, which is for small children, a farmer's market each spring and summer that offers fresh produce in the food desert that is Trenton. Trinity is also a host site for Urban Promise of Trenton. Urban Promise works with inner city youth to develop academic achievement, life management, spiritual growth, and Christian leadership. Urban Promise also does great work in Camden and got its start in one of our Episcopal churches. 2 years ago, by the way, we brought our presiding bishop to Urban Promise Camden so that he could experience some of the good things happening there. It was incredible to be with him and watch him connect with the young people there. I'm excited to announce that Urban Promise Camden has invited Bishop Curry, Presiding Bishop Curry, to be their keynote speaker at the 30th anniversary celebration of Urban Promise Camden, which will take place October 23rd, 2018. I'm planning on attending and hope you will too. Isn't that good? Yeah. Where's the Church of the Resurrection, Vineland? Where are you? Up here on the front. Thank God. There we go. Go ahead. Thank God for the Church of the Resurrection, Vineland. They're a Code Blue warning center, meaning that they are part of a winter emergency shelter program sponsored through the Cumberland County M25 initiative. From November 1st through April 15th, when temperatures reach 25 degrees Fahrenheit if the night is clear, or 32 degrees Fahrenheit if there's precipitation, the parish halls of the Church of the Resurrection church buildings are part of an emergency housing rotation for homeless men, women, and children in the community. Isn't that incredible? Any other Code Blue centers here? Any other Code Blue? Think about that. There are lots of stories to tell from churches up and down the diocese. Exciting things are happening at St. Mary's Pleasantville, one of the diocese's historic Black congregations. They have a new priest in Father Evenson Joseph, who was born in Haiti and came to us from the Diocese of Southeast Florida. Even as they were waiting for a priest, the people of St. Mary's have been engaging their wider community in creative ways. And here to tell you the story is vestry member Joan Manning Hill. And is Father Evenson here also? Excellent. Who are going to come tell you what's going on there. Come on up.
staff came to St. Mary's last week, and he asked me if I would do a short introduction, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. So that's what I
Great.
thought was going to happen.
And that's what we're thankful for.
Okay. So I'm going to try and make this very brief. There was someone that the bishop mentioned, Father Earl B. Scott of UBE chapter is named after him. He was one of the priests at our church. I'm a cradle Episcopalian, and I came up under some priests. I came under some priests that were priests. As my sister says, some are called and some just go. And the priests that I came under were true priests, and I learned so much from him. Father Scott, I called him Uncle Earl, and his wife was Aunt Rosalie. And there was another one who became a bishop of Jamaica, Father Herbert Edmondson. And the things that they instilled in me and the other people in that church who were young at the time were about loving your neighbor as yourself, and love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and always have faith. Our church was in trouble, a lot of trouble. But we also knew there were things that God has called us to do, and as long as our doors were open, that is what we were going to do. And one day I was coming out of ShopRite, and I saw a little pamphlet where there was a woman named Cookie Till who was being honored. Her and her husband have a restaurant in Margate, New Jersey. And she was being honored because she had been supporting all of these community gardens in the area, and they're all organic. Her restaurant is the same. So I called her up and I told her, this is something we could really use in Pleasantville. What do we need to do? And she said, give us a place and a time to meet with your community, and we'll be there. So we met, and we met with the people of our church and people of the community. We set a date, and Cookie reached out to so many people in the community. Atlantic City Utilities Authority, which we get our eco soil for free, which we've been getting for the last 7 years. We were giving a stipend by Stockton State College. AtlantiCare, which is a health facility, they're very big in our area. They have hospitals, they have doctor's offices, they have a treatment center. They have supported us beyond when they were supposed to. It's a 3-year stipend, and they tell us anytime you need anything, come to us. And we needed a shed. They gave us a shed, and the men of the church and the men who come to the garden built it, and the children painted it. And it's just amazing the people who have continued to support us. When you think you don't have anything, if you have faith, you have everything you need. The love of the people that are in our programs. We have an after-school program called Homework Help, and the parents come for English language classes. And at one time we were a lot larger, and then all of these things occurred within the United States, and we've had people that have moved away. But we still have people who come, and you wonder, how are we going to support these programs? Faith. We've had St. Mark's and All Saints in Galloway have stepped in. They help us, we help them. The Lutheran Church in Pleasantville, we partner with them because we have not had our summer program in 2 years, but we go to the Lutheran Church and support them because the children that come to our programs go there in the summertime. So when that love comes together and you pray on it, so many things will happen. We have had dental screenings, and Family Services has sent their van, which has a doctor on one side, the dentist on the other, and they've done screenings. We've had summer We call them Kids Days, where they come, and that's the same day as the screenings occur. There are so many things that have occurred simply because of what the people feel that we have and what our faith has given to us. God has seen us. I believe he truly walks with us. He's in the garden with us. The people that we meet, the relationships that have been formed, and now that we have Father Hevenson, it's amazing. He comes in, he speaks Spanish, he speaks Creole, he speaks to those people that are there. We now have a priest, and I know we'll still reach out to the other churches, but I'm sure our church is going to grow now. He has a vision, he's young, and he's eager, and we're excited. You can see it. You can see the church growing. You can see what people are excited about. And I believe because of our faith, and I believe because of our love for our fellow man, that's what's coming about. Thank you.
So we have a video. We have a video on St. Mary's, from St. Mary's Pleasantville.
Jesus, much alone to follow his footsteps. It is paradoxical, most people wear crosses in the American culture. Those people have nothing to do with Jesus, much alone to follow his footsteps. In fact, more gangsters wear crosses than Christians. In the hip-hop culture, it is also surprising how the symbol of the cross is so popular. And I did not notice it until my younger brother pointed that out to me. And he even says that they have a name for those big crosses. They call them bling bling, right? I didn't know. So in the hip hop culture, a lot of people have bling blings. Big bling blings. Whether or not they know what does that mean, but they like it. Now I know you must have heard it before. You have, grandson and nephews. So you must have heard the word before. And those kind of like big chains, those bling bling.
One thing that I found very interesting with St. Mary's is the potentials. The potentials, like St. Mary is like a giant is sleeping. And when you come, it's not a big church that is overfilled anyways. But the things that people can do, I mean, the human resources, all the people that could find here and capable people to help do things. St. Mary has something unique about it. You may call something in the last minute, and then you have you're worried that maybe whether it happened or not, and then as you know, bam, it happens. So that's something that I find very unique about St. Mary's, that you have some help somewhere that you're not even expecting, and they come at any opportune time. the church is not about doing mass inside of the walls. I think the needs of the community in which you are, the church is located, is as urgent as doing the service for the people you are serving. But in a very short future, and I will be discerning and studying, observing the needs to see how we can address those.
I've been with St. Mary's since about 3 years old. My mother came to church here when I was young. So that means 5 generations of my family have gone to church here. Okay. So I am next to the youngest out of 11 children. I have a twin. And she just loved St. Mary's with all her heart. So if she loved it, we had to love it. And our family truly loves St. Mary's. Right now we have a beautiful community garden that we have going on. And I think it has drawn so many people to us, even if they just come by and just take a look. But when they come and take a look and see, pull a weed, plant a flower, we're just hoping that they get the desire to want to come inside and see what's going on also. So I do think this is about the 3rd year with our garden. It's beautiful to see the people out there working, don't belong here, but they come and they work. So in time, you know, it's God's time. So God's time, we just hope they all come and serve with us here at St. Mary's.
I was confirmed about a year ago right here. The deacon came down, I believe, for it. You could tell with our mission statement, like, that's our focus now. We're trying to bring people in, the de-churched, people who just haven't gone to church ever really, try to bring them into our community. I would say my skill is technology, and that's why I record the sermons and upload them so they could play it to the sick and shut in at nursing homes and so on. And also I manage the church website and keep events posted there. I just like the strong tradition. It feels like a close-knit community. Like, I know everyone in here. I've like grown up around them. It's just, I couldn't imagine going anywhere else at this point.
By next Advent, I would like to see that we've done 3 or 4 major things where we invite the community. So one of the things that I had in mind is that the disease of diabetics, is ravaging African American community. A lot of people is having diabetics, either from bloodline or, by not eating properly. This is something that we think that we may do. Since we have a nurse in the congregation, we have someone that's been licensed by the state of New Jersey, not even the county, as a presenter about diabetes, raise awareness. So we have those resources. We're going to try to see if we can invite the community of where St. Mary is to raise awareness about diabetes and what is killing people in the community. And the second thing that we are also thinking of doing, as you know, the political situation in our country. St. Mary has a lot of Hispanics. I think we're thinking of having a conference where someone can advise people who are undocumented how they're supposed to behave, or should, the immigrations, officers show at their door if they have their loved ones that been taken or stuff like that. What's the first step? What they're supposed to be doing? Those are the things that we're thinking of doing to reach out to the community we are in, because a lot of people are scared. But we have an after-school program here that used to be overflowed with people. So with the ascension of President Trump in power, those people, they just went into hiding. So no wonder how they live now, how they're living. So that's been an issue. And we are trying to see if we can reach out to those people to say the church is there for them. And by doing so is to tell them this is your right and this is what you can do should something come to your family, and how the church can assist.